Every generation is marked by those who carry the weight of culture, the call of leadership, and the charge of service. In the echoes of Yoruba heritage and in the pulse of Nigeria's boardrooms, one man's journey rises, not born of privilege, but of principle. Today, he steps into history, the successor of Alhaji Tijani M. Borodo, the 18th president of the Chartered Institute of Directors Nigeria. And for the next 2 years, he will lead as the 19th president and head of the governing board, guiding CIOD with clarity, courage, and vision. This is not just the story of a man, it is the portrait of a leader whose footsteps are defined by service, integrity, and transformation.
Well, right from school days, Tunji has demonstrated and exhibited leadership, very good leadership qualities. So integrity is the quality that defines him totally. You can rely on him. He's trustworthy. He's loyal. He's also a very hard worker. When you give him an assignment, he completes it without you knowing how he did it. He keeps going gradually, slowly. I'm not surprised he made it to the top of IOD.
Was born in the United Kingdom on August 7, 1957, Otumba Oyebanji's story begins in the soil of heritage and community.
When I had just come back from the UK and I was starting primary school in Nigeria, I can very vividly remember the first day I went to school. My father giving me a coin, money. In those days, we had what we call 3 pence. So imagine this is a very young boy of about 7, 8, and at the time, I couldn't speak what you might describe as Nigerian English. So I was almost like a foreigner. So he gave me the money, pointed to the bus stop and said, this is where you take a bus to go home when you close. Why that is important, really, it really set the tone for how my young childhood and adulthood would be, as I became very independent at a very early age and learned to take care of my business and look after myself. So anyway, I progressed, started secondary school. My time at St. Gregory's College, even though I was a day student, really set the tone for a lot of things in my life. In terms of discipline, a very structured way of living, making sure that you do things at the right time. You imbibe some of those principles very early in life. So that was a very, very important stint for me. And I think I carried some of those virtues. I still carry them, even at this stage of my life.
These foundations became compass points: resilience, responsibility, and the embrace of culture. In time, he was honored with the chieftaincy title, Otumba Olufi of Bogom, a symbol of his devotion to people, culture, and legacy.
I firstly would say, look, it's an honorary chieftaincy title. In fact, the interesting story about it is that it's something that we were on for almost 10 years when I was first, called upon to take a title. And it's something I struggled with because I'm not really too big with titles. Even this, I'm still trying to get used to the concept. Ideally, just calling me Mr. is fine and is good enough for me. But I believe the title really is more of a recognition of contributions that I may have made to my community.
Armed with a degree in economics from the University of Lagos and an MBA from Bayes Business School in London, Otumba Oyebanji sharpened his leadership through global executive programs from the Lagos Business School to the Thunderbird School of Global Management in Arizona and the Institute of Directors, UK. His professional climb was deliberate, stretching over 4 decades in the oil and gas sector. From a trainee at Mobil Oil Nigeria PLC in 1980, he rose through technical and strategic roles, earning international postings across Ethiopia, Cameroon, the United States, and Belgium. In 2008, he was appointed chairman and managing director of Mobil Oil Nigeria, and later chief executive officer of Double One PLC.
It's been a pleasure to see him demonstrate leadership in and out of Mobile. Once we identify employees as talent, we develop them. So yes, Tunji was on the talent management list. He ticked all the boxes. Yeah, I continued to watch him tick several boxes, mostly in marketing. And as he ticked each box, we raised the bar. He worked in different parts of the country. If I remember well, there was a time as HR manager, I was part of the decision that sent him to Kano. He did exceptionally well. So yes, it's evolved through a well-developed process for leadership. It's something many companies don't do well, but we did it very well. And finally, at some point, you do well in Nigeria, being a multinational, the world has to take a look at you. So he was out of Nigeria for about 18 months.
Behind the title lies the man, a husband to Honorable Justice Adedayo Oyebanji, a father and a cultural ambassador.
In all my over 6 decades of living and counting by the grace of God, I have not met a man that is more decent. He's a thoroughly decent, cultured person. Very decent. He's one of the most decent persons I have met in my life. And he's authentic. What he says is what he means, and he means whatever he says. And what you see is what you get. He doesn't make up any, it's just himself. He's just himself. He to me will be how I would describe him as a husband and as a father. He's how the Yorubas will say omoluabi, thoroughly decent, peaceful, peace-loving, tolerant, loving, caring, quick to forgive. I describe him as my jewel of inestimable value, a treasure to his wife and children.
The traits that have prepared my father for many leadership positions are his integrity, his selflessness, and his commitment. I will sum up my father's leadership style in one word: inspirational. Why? Because I believe he resiliently seeks to improve the set standard and push the boundaries.
We are very proud of Dad's achievements and the great impact he makes. He's truly the right person and is deserving of this great honor. We have no doubt that he's doing an outstanding job leading the chapter, and we wish him all the best in his very important role.
Beyond corporate reports and strategy sessions is a heart that beats for people. In his church, he has served faithfully, mentoring, guiding, and supporting the next generation. In his home, his values are lived daily. In his cultural role, he stands as a proud custodian of heritage, reminding us that true leadership is never divorced from identity.
I do pay a lot of credence to culture. I believe that we shouldn't go overboard in trying to appear in a way that we are not. Even my dressing, I would more often than not prepared to be dressed in native attire than wearing a suit.
In 2012, he became a member of the Institute. From that moment, he was willing to give his time, his energy, and his experience, serving in different committees, whether as chairman or member, always with dedication and excellence. Brick by brick, he built trust. Step by step, he earned respect. And today, that journey has brought him here as the 19th president of the Chartered Institute of Directors Nigeria and leader of its governing board for the next 2 years.
Tunji, that's what I'm used to calling him, my president. I myself have come a long way for the last 12 years we have been in the governance space with him. 12 years. And for these 12 years, we have worked very closely either at the Institute of Directors or the Society for Corporate Governance or on other assignments. And I found him a very, very good team player. He's somebody who has his own views, but at the same time, he listens to other people's views. At the end of the day, whatever decision is, Tunji is a good team player. So for me, anybody who is a good team player has already got the competence to to be able to harness opinions from people before he takes a decision. So I'm sure Tunji will be a very good president for our institute at this time.
Leadership is not about titles, it is about direction. For the next 2 years, Otumba Adetunji Oyebanji will guide the Governing Council of CIOD Nigeria with a vision rooted in governance excellence, institutional growth, youth engagement, and national relevance.
Tunji is an innovator. He's a change agent. He will never pass through here and you don't see his footsteps. Your institute will know that a man called Adetunji Oyebanji sat in the saddle of the leadership of the institute, because it would change many, many things for good.
As he settles down, I would expect him to identify his vision for the institute. Where does he want to take the institute? But I would expect him very early to set the direction. This is where we want to go, and then develop the strategies to get the institute there. The alignment shouldn't be, the people alignment issues shouldn't be difficult for him. He's an excellent people person. And the final one, of course, is the execution. Doing what he says he's going to do. Many leaders, that's where they struggle. But a well-prepared leader like Mobile, Tunji, we don't struggle with that. We execute very well. We plan well. We get people together with us. We put in all the right strategies and initiatives. And we get things done. So I expect Tunji to do the same.
He's the right person. You see, for the last 2 years, my 2 years of leadership was transition. He was by my side. There wasn't any key decision I wanted to take without bouncing on him, and I had his own inputs. So where we are now, we have put the building blocks for the implementation of the charter status of the institute. So he's the right person, really, to drive the actual implementation. Okay? So I think he's the right person. My hope for him as an IPP, by the time he finishes his tenure, he'll look back and say, yes, I have done A, B, C, and D towards implementation of our charter status. And I'm sure he will do that. And I'll continue to support him and he delivers.
First, allow me to extend my special congratulations and commendations to Otumba Adetunji Oyebanji, fellow Charities of Directors, on his elevation to the prestigious office of President and Chairman of the CIOD's Governing Council, alongside the new leadership team. As you assume this pivotal role, your leadership comes at a defining moment when Nigeria must elevate standards of directorship. We must reinforce accountability mechanisms, and we must harness governance as a driver of sustainable and inclusive economic progress. As you embark on this new chapter under the fresh leadership, I'd like to assure you of the NESG's commitment and partnership in advancing the cause of governance excellence. Together, the NESG and the Charities of Directors, we can build stronger institutions, deepen ethical leadership, and unlock new pathways for sustainable development. On behalf of the board and management of the NESG, therefore, I'd like to extend my sincere congratulations to the new president, the council, and all the members of the Charities of Directors of Nigeria on this historic investiture.
As always, my hope and prayer is to leave the institute better than I met it. And basically, my tenure is going to rest on 3 main pillars, and the acronym is ICE, I-C-E. ICE in this case stands for Implementation, Collaboration, and Engagement. Implementation in the sense that we have quite a few things that I would say are already in the burner. One is the Chartered Institute of Directors Act of 2023. We've significantly implemented some of the things that have to do with changing from IOD to CIOD. So first thing is I would like to complete the implementation of those things that are remaining on the transition list. Another project is the CIOD house we've been working on for quite some time. So I'd like to see that, at least start during this tenure, even if we can't complete it, at least would like to see that we started. Also during the period, we did a lot of work on the membership structure and branch structure of the Institute. There was a report that was written. I'd like to see the full implementation of that report, and already we started some work in that regard. Then on the collaboration front, we have had the opportunity to interact with many various institutions, and we really want to build on the collaboration that we have with some of those institutes. Things like Ministry of Finance Incorporated, places like the Lagos Business School, some other entities like SEC, improve the level of collaboration that we have with such entities. And then finally, on the engagement side, we want to engage better, certainly with our members, and that is maybe digital engagement, can be one form or the other. Engagement with our staff, we need to engage better. I'd like to see a regular newsletter, for instance, that we publish for the staff, just to keep them up to date on developments within the Institute. Engagement with our past presidents and the elders in the Institute, just to make sure that we're getting a feel and we remain in touch with them. So these would be the three pillars that we would operate under, and hopefully, like I said, at the end of the day, we would leave the Institute much better than we find it.
This is more than the story of one man. It is the unfolding of a legacy, a vision, of culture, of stewardship. Otumba Adetunji Adetokunbo Oyebanji, leading with clarity, guided by culture, committed to a future where leadership is service, and service becomes legacy.